wrestling is an Olympic sport. You could throw guys or do submissions. Judo is an Olympic sport. So all these different things were already things that we did, and they were already an Olympic sport and approved. So we tried to stay within those boundaries.
What about women?
What about women?
Bringing them in.
So,
how did people respond when you first came up with the idea? Why did you decide? What was the drive for you to this?
Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey was the reason. So there's a very famous quote from me that TMZ got. They said, "When are women going to fight in the UFC?" And I said, "Never." And that they play that thing every 30 seconds now and rub it in my face. But I'll tell you this, about 17 years ago, I went to this small show up in Northern California, and these two women were fighting. One woman was incredibly talented. The other woman looked like she took 6 Taibo classes, okay? And it was very lopsided, let me put it to you that way. And I was like, first of all, at that point in my career, I was trying to get people to accept the men, you know?
Yes.
People, the men were, you know, people had a problem with the men fighting like this.
Yes.
So I was like, there's no way I can put women in there. But the one thing that I never saw coming, and I don't think anybody did, I mean, obviously it's a completely different world now. Women are in a much different place than when we were growing up,
yes.
You know? We're in a place now, yeah. We're in a place now, you know, boys played sports, women played with dolls and played house and all that stuff, man. That ain't the world we're in right now.
Yeah.
Women are in a place now, women can do anything. Women can be anything, do anything. Including fight, and fight very well. So I met Ronda Rousey. She came up to me and said, "Can I talk to you at one of the events?" We went back in my room, we started talking, and I don't know, 20 minutes into the conversation, I said to myself, holy shit, I'm actually considering this right now. And 45 minutes after, I walked out of that meeting and called my partner, Lorenzo, and I said, "You're not gonna believe this, but I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do it. I think this is the woman to do it with, and I'm gonna give it a shot." And wow.
Yeah.
The women are so technical and so good that, you know, the women's fights right now outrating the men's. The women's
really?
fights, oh.
Wow.
I can't, if I put on a card and there aren't women on it, people are like, "How do you not have a women's fight on this card?" I'm like, we have 3 divisions for women right now. I can't put women on every single card that we have, but yeah, it's getting there.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
It's incredible. And
what was
I don't
it about?
know,
What was it about her? We've all seen her now. No, but what was it that you felt when you had that brief meeting in those first 20 minutes? What'd she say? What'd she demonstrate that shifted you so much?
Well, you know, when you talk about manifesting your own destiny talking about, you know, that is Ronda Rousey. That is Conor McGregor.
Yes.
That is any of these successful people that you meet, that's who they are, and that's exactly what they do. It's a fact. She sat there and laid out and told me exactly how her career was going to go. Conor McGregor laid out and told me exactly how his career was going to go. These type of people, it's real. It's absolutely real, and I've seen it many, many times in my life.
Let's talk about, you know, we talk about, Peter Drucker said all business really is innovation and marketing. That employs everything else. Innovation, finding a better way to meet your customers' needs, marketing, getting them to want to do business with you. When you're marketing a fight, you're a genius at it. I mean, Mary was telling me when she went to a fight years ago, and I think it was Cortier versus somebody else, and the guy was really huge, and he was older, and yet there's this question in people's mind, is it possible? Tell us a little about how you think about sports marketing or fight marketing per se.
Yeah.
And then tell us about Conor McGregor a little bit, if you would.
Well, and what about
Conor? About Conor as well,
yeah.
afterwards.
So when a fight is happening, the other thing that makes fighting so big is that everybody's an expert. Okay? Everybody's an expert on fighting. We've all seen kids fight in the playground and this and that, and everybody has an opinion. Again, I'm going to go back to cricket, unfortunately, for the 5 people here that know about cricket, but it's the best thing I could talk about in the United States. You know, if I asked you guys to break down the cricket match this weekend, yeah, I have no idea. I'll pick the guys in the red, you know. But if I said, hey, who do you think is going to win this fight? Everybody in this room would have an answer. You could answer that question because for some reason, everybody's a fight expert, you know? So when we put together fights, my job, because everybody's going to have an opinion right away, right? Everybody's going to have an opinion. This guy's going to win. My job is to get you to question who you think is going to win this fight. So I need to gather all the information that I can get on both guys, and then I need to sell you on why this fight isn't going to go the way you think this fight's going to go.
So give us an example of how you've done that with a fight, with a particular ticket that stands out for you, that maybe people didn't think was going to go, but you made it go.
Well, I would say my best one was Holly Holm, Ronda Rousey, and yeah, I did a really good job with that one. You know, that Ronda, you know, everybody, when that fight came out, the odds were incredibly huge that Ronda was going to win that fight, and nobody gave Holly a chance, and said Ronda's never fought anybody like this. You know, Holly striking her head kicks or this or that. You know, and even Joe Rogan came out and said there's no way Holly Holm wins this fight.
Wow.
And not only did we sell the fight, but Holly Holm did win the fight.
Yeah.
And it is true.
Yes.
You know, you can go into a fight, especially in mixed martial arts, thinking you know who's going to win, and not always the case.
What would you say, you know, you have a mindset. I read you said something like, there are no problems that can't be solved. Anything can be changed. You don't have to be a billionaire, I'm paraphrasing. You don't have to be a millionaire to make shit happen. You've got this mindset of like, somebody says it can't be done. I relate completely. Then you want to just rip it open, and you do. Where does that come from in you?
I don't know, but those are my favorites. I love when people doubt us. I love when people say no. You know, even when we just sold the company, it's been 2 years now, right? We sold the company, and then everybody, it's always surrounded by anything you do positive in your life, and anything that's huge, it will immediately be surrounded by negativity, right? Immediately. Get ready for it, because no matter how successful you become, one thing never goes away: negativity, haters, whatever you want to call them. But it's always there, and you have to read it every day.
How do you keep that from affecting you?
I separate myself from it. And back in the old days,
You don't even take it in.
when we started, I used to read it to the point where I was just nauseous, you know?
Yeah.
I do not read any of that stuff, because one of the things that I have learned over my many years of doing this, their opinion doesn't matter. Their opinion means nothing.
Give it up there.
It is literally an opinion. Right. It's negative bullshit, and it means nothing to you. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't affect, unless you're the sick, twisted type of person like me that likes to let it fuel you. You let it. It's like your, you know, it's like your fuel, and other than that, it's useless. It means nothing. Everything that the reporters write, everything that these people say, just don't do your thing. Stay on your course. Stay focused, and